Hi everyone, I'm thrilled to dive into something that's been a real eye-opener for me. Today, I want to share a trick to cut salt and keep your blood pressure steady, leading to a healthier heart and a lighter, more vibrant you. If you've ever felt that puffiness in your hands or noticed your energy dip more than it should, this could be the simple tweak you've been missing. I'm not here with a medical diploma or a lab coat, just a keen interest in figuring out how to feel our best as we move through these years. I'll walk you through everything I've learned about this trick, explain why it makes such a difference, and give you practical steps to make it work in your own life. This isn't about drastic diet overhauls or giving up flavor, it's a straightforward shift that can lift your health without weighing you down. Let's get started, because we all deserve a heart that beats strong and a body that feels free. Salt's one of those things that sneaks into our days more than we realize, and for me, it started showing up in ways I couldn't ignore. I'd finish a meal, maybe a bowl of soup or a quick sandwich, and later feel bloated, my rings tight on my fingers, my legs heavy like they'd soaked up extra water. It wasn't just discomfort, I'd check my blood pressure on a whim, and the numbers would creep higher than usual, leaving me wondering what was going on. I'd always loved a good sprinkle of salt on my food, a habit I picked up from years of cooking and eating what tasted good, but that puffiness and those readings made me pause. After digging into some articles, browsing health sites, and paying closer attention to how my body reacted, I figured out that cutting back on salt could steady things out. It's not about banning it entirely, just dialing it down with smart swaps, and it's brought my heart and energy back into balance in ways I didn't expect. This isn't a rare issue, it's something a lot of us bump into as time goes on. Blood pressure can climb quietly, and salt's often a hidden driver, hiding in everyday foods we don't even think twice about. I'd grab a snack or cook a quick dinner, not realizing how much sodium was piling up, and my body would feel it, swollen, sluggish, a little off. I didn't want to just shrug it off as part of life, I wanted to understand it and find a way to keep my heart humming and my days light. That's where this trick comes in, a practical way to cut salt that's worked for me, and I'm eager to break it down so you can see if it fits your routine too. What turns this salt cutting trick into a heart-saving move? This trick revolves around reducing salt by swapping it for flavorful alternatives, keeping your blood pressure in check and your heart happier. Salt, sodium, really pulls water into your blood vessels, boosting the pressure inside them, and over time, that extra push can strain your heart and arteries. I'd feel it after salty meals, my hands puffy, my energy low, and this trick, using herbs or spices instead, cuts that sodium load without leaving food bland. From what I've read, too much salt makes your body hold onto water, raising blood volume and pressure. Dialing it back with swaps like garlic powder or lemon zest keeps things steady. I tried it one night on a chicken dish, skipping the salt shaker, and the next day, my fingers weren't swollen, and my blood pressure stayed calm. It was a small change with a big payoff. Salt's sneaky because it's not just about what you sprinkle, it's baked into so much of what we eat. Processed foods, think canned soups, chips, even bread, pack sodium in ways that add up fast, and I'd grab those for convenience, not clocking how they were hitting me. Your body needs some sodium to function, muscles and nerves rely on it, but the average diet blasts past that, often doubling or tripling what's healthy. I'd look at labels after a while, shocked at how a single serving could hit 1,000 milligrams, and this trick sidesteps that trap by leaning on natural flavors instead. It's not about deprivation, it's about rethinking how you season. I'd toss rosemary on potatoes instead of salt, and they'd taste better, with my heart thanking me too. The mechanics are simple but powerful, and that's why it clicked for me. Less salt means less water retention, so your blood vessels don't swell up, pushing your pressure down. I'd feel lighter after a low salt day, not bogged down. It's like taking the foot off the gas for your heart, it doesn't have to pump as hard, and over time, that ease adds up. I've seen mentions that cutting sodium by even 1,000 milligrams a day can drop blood pressure noticeably, and I felt it. My readings went from borderline high to steady normal after a week of this. It's a move that fits into real meals, not some lab experiment, and it's kept my heart and body in sync without much fuss. Let's break down why blood pressure climbs with age and salt. Blood pressure often edges up as we get older because our arteries and systems shift, and salt can tip it over the edge. Years of wear make arteries stiffer. they don't flex like they used to, so any extra pressure from sodium hits harder, pushing those numbers up. I'd feel fine most days, but after a salty snack, my readings would spike, and it's no surprise. Stuff I've skimmed says aging vessels lose elasticity, and salt's water pull makes them work overtime. For me, it was like my body was less forgiving, and cutting salt became a way to lighten that load and keep my heart from feeling the strain. It's not just arteries, your kidneys play a role too, and they don't filter salt as well over time. They're supposed to balance sodium and water, but as we age, they slow down, letting salt linger and pull more fluid into your system. I'd notice my ankles puff up after a salty dinner, a sign my kidneys weren't keeping up, and wellness pieces say that's common. Older kidneys struggle, and excess sodium throws them off. This trick steps in by cutting what they have to handle. I'd use pepper instead of salt on my eggs, and that puffiness wouldn't show up. It's a quiet shift that supports your body's natural rhythm, not fighting against it. Lifestyle piles on too, and salt's a big piece of that puzzle. We eat more processed stuff as life gets busy, frozen meals, takeout, snacks, and it's loaded with sodium to keep it tasty and shelf-stable. I'd grab a quick bite, not thinking about the salt bomb inside, and my body would feel it later, heavy and off-kilter. What I've learned is that our habits amplify what age already does. Stiff arteries, slower kidneys, and a salt-heavy diet make a perfect storm. This trick flips that script, pulling salt out where I can control it, and it's kept my pressure steady and my days smoother. Here's how too much salt puts your heart under pressure. Too much salt ramps up the strain on your heart by flooding your system with water it doesn't need. Sodium draws fluid into your blood, boosting volume and pressing harder against artery walls. Over time, that extra force can tire your heart out. I'd feel it after a salty soup, my pulse a little faster, my energy lagging, and this trick, swapping salt for cumin or thyme, cuts that flood and eases the push. I've read that high sodium can thicken artery walls too, making them narrower, and that's a load your heart doesn't want. I'd notice my readings climb after a salty day, and cutting back brought them down fast. It's a domino effect: more salt, more water, more pressure, and your heart feels every step. Your blood vessels stretch to cope, but they're not built for constant strain, and over years, that wear can stiffen them further or even damage them. I'd feel bloated and sluggish, like my body was working too hard, and wellness info says that's your heart pumping against resistance. Cut the salt, and it relaxes. I'd season fish with lemon instead, and the next day, I'd feel lighter, my heart not racing to keep up. It's not just about pressure, it's about giving your heart a break it deserves. The kidneys tie in here too, and salt overloads them in a way that loops back to your heart. They filter sodium out, but too much clogs the system, leaving fluid behind and pushing your pressure up. I'd see it in my swollen fingers, a sign my body was holding on. This trick keeps their job simpler. Less salt in means less to process, and I'd swap soy sauce for vinegar in a stir-fry, feeling the difference by morning. It's a chain reaction I didn't clock until I saw it play out, and cutting salt broke it, keeping my heart steady and strong. Unpack why cutting salt beats meds for steady pressure. Reducing salt outshines meds for blood pressure because it hits the cause, not just the numbers, and keeps you in charge. Pills can lower readings. I'd take one if things spiked, but they don't touch the sodium piling up, and they might leave you dizzy or tired as a trade-off. I didn't want to lean on them daily, so this trick, using spices over salt, became my fix, tackling the root without a prescription. Stuff I've seen says cutting sodium can drop pressure as much as some meds, and I felt it. My numbers steadied without that foggy feeling pills sometimes bring. Meds mask the issue, cutting salt solves it, and that's the difference for me. They tweak how your body handles pressure, but the salt's still there, waiting to push back. I'd feel okay on a pill, then bloated again later. This trick pulls sodium out of the equation, easing water retention and vessel strain naturally. I'd skip salt on my veggies, and my legs wouldn't swell by night. Research I've skimmed backs this. Slashing salt by a few grams a day can cut pressure significantly, no side effects. It's about control, not reliance, and that's kept me feeling lighter and freer. It's practical too, no pharmacy runs, just kitchen swaps that fit your life. Pills need timing, refills, costs. I'd forget sometimes, and the spike would remind me I wasn't free. This It's herbs in my pantry, a shake of paprika instead of salt, and I'm set. I'd season a stew with oregano, and my heart stayed happy. It's not about replacing meds if you need them, it's about a first step that works, and for me, it's been a game changer without the hassle. See what shifts when you cut salt from your routine. When you trim salt with this trick, your blood pressure steadies, and your heart feels the relief fast. Less sodium means less water in your vessels, so pressure drops. I'd skip salt on my rice, and by morning, my readings were lower, my hands less puffy. Keep it up, and the wins grow, your heart pumps easier, your arteries relax, and that strain fades. I stuck with it for a month, using garlic instead, and my pressure settled into a healthy range, my energy up. Judy tried it too, cutting salt from her snacks, and she said her legs felt lighter by week's end, a small swap with a big lift. Long-term, it's like armor for your heart, slowing wear and keeping you light. Less pressure means less damage to arteries. I'd notice my pulse calm down, not racing after meals, and wellness bits say it can ease heart workload over years. After a few weeks, I'd feel less bloated, my clothes fitting better, a sign my body wasn't holding extra water. It's not a total fix, serious pressure needs more, but for daily health, it's a shield, and I'd feel it every time I moved without that heavy drag. Your whole body perks up too, not just your heart, less salt lifts more than pressure. I'd cut it and sleep better, no waking up swollen, and my energy held steady, no midday slump. Judy said her ankles stopped puffing, and she felt sprier, like she'd shed a load she didn't know she carried. It's a ripple from one change, and it's kept me feeling vibrant and in tune, not weighed down by something I could control. Your simple guide to cutting salt with flavorful swaps. Here's how to pull off this trick and keep your pressure steady with taste and tact. Start with herbs, rosemary, thyme, basil, shake them onto meats or veggies instead of salt. I'd use thyme on chicken, and it'd taste rich, not flat. Spices work too, paprika, cumin, pepper. Add a kick without sodium. I'd dust cumin on beans, and they'd pop, my heart unbothered. Citrus like lemon juice or zest brightens dishes. I'd squeeze lemon on fish, and it'd sing, no salt needed. Do it daily, swap by swap, and you're set. I'd season my meals this way, and my pressure stayed calm, my body light. Tweak your pantry to make it stick, keep swaps handy, ditch the shaker. I'd stock garlic powder, onion flakes, and vinegar, ready to grab. I'd splash vinegar on greens, and they'd shine, no sodium in sight. Check labels on cans or sauces. Aim for low-sodium versions. I'd pick a soup with 300 milligrams over 1,000, and my rings wouldn't pinch. Cook fresh when you can. Frozen veggies beat salted cans. I'd steam broccoli with pepper, and it'd taste clean, my heart happy. It's not hard, it's just new habits, and I'd feel the ease grow every day. Go deeper with tips to lock it in. Little moves make it yours. Taste as you cook, add spices slow, not all at once. I'd sprinkle basil bit by bit, finding the sweet spot. Rinse canned beans or tuna to cut salt. I'd do it, and the bloat wouldn't hit. Pair flavors, garlic with oregano, lemon with pepper. I'd mix them on pork, and it'd burst, no shaker missed. It's about building a rhythm, and I'd tweak it till it felt like home, my heart and body thanking me every meal. This salt cutting trick has steadied my pressure and lightened my days, no meds or fuss needed. It's not the full answer. If your numbers soar, see a pro, but for everyday health, it's a natural boost I trust. I swap salt daily now, seasoning with zest, feeling my heart hum and my body lift. Judy's in too, says it's her trick for feeling spry. If it's tough or pressure spikes, get a check, but for most of us, this is gold, easy, free, and true. It took me a bit to shift, but now it's second nature, and my heart shows it every beat. Want a healthier heart and lighter you? Try this trick today, and feel the steadiness. It's gold for our golden years. Loved this heart-saving tip? Follow Harmonic Aging for more golden years gems like this, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep thriving together.